What's up? What's up? Happy New Year. This is your girl V with Low End Theories podcast.
What's up, y'all? This is Sam coming back. Fresh New Year. What's going on with you, V, man? How you been?
Man, I have been super duper great. It's been so good just coming into this new year and, just doing some good shit. I spent the new year in Texas with my best friend who actually just relocated there. And then my brother, he lives there too. So we actually got the chance to spend our birthdays together because my birthday is New Year's Day and his is the day after. So I haven't seen him in 8 years, so it was like so fucking awesome. And I got to meet his girlfriend, and she was like the bomb. She's awesome. So it was really good, except for the weather.
The weather wasn't cooperating.
No, sir. It was too cold. It was like in the 30s at night, and
Damn,
New Year's Eve night. It was cold. It was windy. It was raining. So we ended up staying in that night, but we still had a good time.
that's what's up, man. Had you spent your birthday with your brother on his birthday before?
No, so that was our first time that we got to like celebrate our birthdays together.
Oh, okay. Shit.
Yeah, because we've been trying to get it together for like years before this, and you know how shit always come up, or it's always like expensive to travel over the new year or whatever. But we made it happen this year, and it was good.
Was it expensive or?
No, it wasn't bad. Like the tickets were still, pretty cheap as far as the plane tickets, but
Oh, that's right. You took fucking what was it? Spirit or
oh
um
my gosh.
all
Yeah,
these airlines? What you take? I forgot.
that was the
Oh
worst
shit.
traveling experience ever.
Man, I ain't gonna forget that shit, man. Your ass was your ass landed. Told me you said you said that the engine sound like the fucking alternator was broke.
Yeah, the alternator was fucked up on that damn plane. That motherfucker was humming.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that shit was funny as hell.
Yeah, no, that was some raggedy bullshit. So I mean, I flew Spirit the way there, but on the way back, I took a different airline. But yeah, that was my first time flying with Spirit, like in maybe 10 years, something like that. But
Shit,
never
you fucked
again.
around and got on the same plane. Shit.
Probably.
Shit, that was probably the same motherfucking plane you got on for 10 years ago. Shit.
Yeah, it's a good chance, but yeah, it was a horrible experience, and I guess it was weather going into Texas. It was a whole lot of turbulence, and like it was so bad that people was actually on the flight like screaming and panicking and shit because that's how bad it was. It felt like he was on a roller coaster ride, and the girl that was sitting next to me, she was a teenager, and it was her first time flying, and I felt
Oh
so
damn,
bad. She was
damn.
scared, and it's like when we was hitting that turbulence really bad, like she damn near jumped in my lap. That's how scared she was. So
I'm just
yeah, it
glad you
was.
got up out that jam, man. Because while you was going,
Mhm.
it was either while you was going or when you was coming back, man. A fucking plane took off from Malaysia and ended up in the fucking ocean. So
Mm.
yeah, man. So shit, just count your blessings. At least Spirit got you there, and whoever it was got you back. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody got on the plane one of them days and didn't make it back.
Oh wow.
You know,
Yeah, I
they
didn't
was
hear about
recovering
that
the.
one.
I think they was recovering the black boxes yesterday, either yesterday, day before yesterday, something like that. But
Hmm.
it was like, man, I don't know what it is about taking off from them Southeastern Asian countries, man. Like fucking planes just be disappearing and don't nobody know where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't
Yeah.
find it. They don't know where it last was. Like it just be a shitty situation all around. So I'm just glad you got you know what I'm saying, you got there and you got back okay. Shit.
Oh, absolutely. But other than that, my time in Texas was great. So, what did you end up doing for New Year? For the
Shit.
New Year, excuse me.
Not a damn thing. Shit. I sat I stayed up until you know what I'm saying, till midnight, gave everybody in here a hug.
Hmm.
But they shit, they celebrated an hour before me because they be watching that Dick Clark's countdown or whatever. So I don't watch that shit because I don't live in New York. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
I try to stay with whoever doing the time for the Central Time Zone. And for some reason, they always had this shit in New Orleans. Now I know New Orleans is a big, party town, and you probably don't want to have um like outdoor celebrations in Chicago because it'd be so cold. But
Mhm.
it would seem to me that Chicago would be a bigger city or a better place to have a party than New Orleans for New Year's Eve. You know what I'm saying? You got the lake, you know what I'm saying? You got like the fireworks display and all of that other type of shit.
Yeah.
So but I mean it was cool, man. They had Big Frida hosting this shit and
Yeah.
it was
I
alright.
mean, I did see that there was a lot of visitors in like the major cities. So it was really packed in Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, um, and Miami too. So I guess, people that was coming in from smaller cities that really didn't have much going on due to COVID, they was traveling to the bigger cities so they can go out and party on New Year's Eve. So yeah, I mean, the party scene was, you know, mm, it wasn't extremely packed from what I saw, but in Dallas, where I was at, the major clubs, like the big clubs, they were closed now. So they were shut down due to COVID. So the only clubs that were really open that you can go to were strip clubs. Now, those were packed. So like their strip clubs was like on one like street. So you can just hit one after the other on the same street. And like some of those places, like the line was wrapped around the corner or wrapped around the building to get into the strip club. So that was a bit too much. Like I didn't feel comfortable being inside of a place where the line was wrapped and then also you're elbow to elbow inside the building. Like we didn't do that.
Oh,
So
okay.
I
So you didn't
we
go.
ended up yeah, we didn't go to those. I did find like a place where there was like no line, no wait. It was no line, no wait. So we went there and then we had like our own little area. So we wasn't like elbow to elbow with other people. So it was
Yeah,
good. And
I
yeah.
should have known fucking about. I know your ass was gonna get in that motherfucking club shit.
Oh, absolutely. I told you I wanted me a big booty girl for my birthday.
Fucking insane, man. Insane. Speaking of insanity, though, it seemed like as soon as you got back, shit kicked off. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
hmm
like last week with the I don't know what the right phrase of it is, but the riot or the insurrection or whichever one you want to fucking call it, man. That shit happened. I was watching that
The
shit live.
bullshit that went down at the Capitol.
Yeah, I was watching it live because I had never seen somebody. I had never seen them count the electoral votes before, so I wanted to check it out to see what the process was. Let me
hmm
just, if I could just say, man, it's a long ass fucking process to just get some motherfuckers to count some votes, and then
hmm
this particular time, they were saying like, well, it don't normally take this long, but you got motherfuckers that want to dispute the votes and shit, saying that
hmm
there's something wrong with the process and how the votes was counted, not the actual votes of the people, but the electoral votes was counted wrong. Like that's what Ted Cruz was
hmm
trying to say. Said there was something fucked up about that process. So like they had to let these motherfuckers argue and go back and then come back again. And I'm watching this shit and I'm like, damn, this shit gonna take all day. Me in between time, president is out there talking. You know what I'm saying? He like, man, we gonna march to the, I'm gonna walk with you. We gonna go to the Capitol. We gonna demand that they make changes. And we gotta be strong and all this other shit. Then motherfucking Rudy get his running uh his motherfucking running head dye having ass up there and he started saying, yeah, man, we're gonna have a trial by combat. I just watched this motherfucker limp up the stairs. Fam, you ain't fighting nobody. I don't know what you talking about. Like you like 95 years older than Jesus and shit, and you sitting here talking about having a trial by combat. And then there was another senator or House representative got up there. And he said, "Man, we gonna take our shit back. We gonna burn all this shit." Like he started wilding, and like I think he went like first or second or some shit, but he was wilding. So then
Hmm.
By the time Trump got up there, they was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Like they was ready to go.
Yeah, they was all riled up by then.
Man, Trump said, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna go up there with y'all, man. We ain't gonna be too nice. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get what it is that we want. We gonna take what it is that we want." But get up there, they just bum rushed the motherfucker show. Like Mike Pence was talking, and then they just cut that shit and then went straight to outside. You look up and it's all these motherfuckers on the stairs, all these motherfuckers on the balconies and shit. Motherfuckers is climbing the walls and falling off of the motherfuckers, giving entertainment. Like it was a plethora of shit to look at in this motherfucker. So I'm like, where the police? So like
Yeah, it's
that was
like,
the
where
that was
were they?
that was the first thing that came to my mind because I'm like, okay, he sent out a tweet. He sent out a tweet like a week before they were supposed to go up there, and he said we coming up there, and it's gonna be wild. Like he said that in the tweet. I'm like, okay, where the police at? You know what I'm saying? Because when the Black Lives Matter protests was happening, them motherfuckers was posted. They had like a platoons of motherfuckers
Oh,
up
they
there.
was out there real heavy. The police presence and the guard, like they was out there super heavy. So to look at that and see that all the chaos that was happening and nothing was really being done about it, you know, it was. And I came in at late, like, because I remember you did text me and say, "Hey, are you watching this shit?" I was like, "I'm working." So, I had to find like a live stream. So about time I came in and I started watching it, and you seeing like you said, the people climbing up the walls, they coming out of there with furniture and podiums and shit. Like,
See, that's not even like I don't even want to skip no shit because like when I'm watching this shit and these motherfuckers is just standing there and everybody that's because CNN and MSNBC and Fox and shit like I'm going through all of them because I want to see what everybody got to say. Like I've been
mm-hmm,
doing that lately because I don't want to just listen to motherfuckers that think like how I think all the time, and then I become incapable of appreciating somebody else's opinion. So I be listening to everything. So
mm-hmm.
I'm watching this shit, and everybody like, what's going on? Like, how the fuck did they get that close? Like, what, how the fuck did they get that close? This motherfucker's just running across the field, kicking down gates and shit. They ain't even zoomed in and showing like what's really happening up close, like with the police and shit. You don't find that shit out till later. But you look up and these motherfuckers is heave hoeing trying to get into the motherfucker door. They broadcasting from their phones and shit,
Mm-hmm.
showing them busting out windows and all this other type of shit. And the police is just standing there. I see the police, you know what I'm saying? They on the thing and I see them and they just standing there. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like they must just be standing there. Like they must not be trying to get in this motherfucker because they just standing there.
Letting it happen.
They just standing there. And this shit went on for hours. Like they was up there for hours. So eventually you see the police start walking old ladies down the stairs and shit, helping motherfuckers up and all this other. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? By the time nightfall or whatever hit, when the mayor of the city had announced the curfew, it was like the curfew was at like 6 o'clock. It was 6:30 before they started pushing motherfuckers back. Like it was like they was just standing there waiting on the motherfucker to go home eventually. Like it was like they was trying to let them figure that shit out on their own, so they really wouldn't have to do nothing. It was fucking insane. Like I had never seen
Mm-hmm.
no shit like that before. Then you fast forward 3 4 days later to when they start getting the footage back from when motherfuckers was going in there, and these motherfuckers was boating. Like they went in there, they was kicking in doors, motherfuckers taking pictures on people's desks and shit, carrying out
Mm-hmm.
furniture. Like a motherfucker took a whole the whole speaker stand out that motherfucker. Like, fam, where's you going?
Like, what are you about to do? I think they said that the guy that took the podium was trying to sell it on eBay or some
Yeah, I
shit.
saw that post too. Fam, who the fuck is buying this? First of all, second of all, we all know this is stolen property.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I don't think that was really true. But at the same time, why the fuck is you smiling, waving, holding the fucking podium? Like this is theft, fam. Like it just seemed like nobody really gave, like they went in there like nothing was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Confidently, like nothing was gonna happen. Like we gonna go in here, we gonna do whatever the fuck it is that we want to do. Y'all just gonna have to deal with it. You got motherfuckers in horns and shit, just like Hornwoggle from fucking from the Simpsons and shit. Like dancing on the fucking desk, taking selfies in the chair, and it was just nutty shit. It was I had never seen no shit like that before. Then they started saying like somebody had killed a cop, some lady had got shot, and
Mm-hmm.
end up being five motherfuckers died. One dude tased himself and had a heart attack and died. Like it was just all type of stupid shit that was happening, and it was like really like no real police presence, and like they started having these fucking they start having these fucking press conferences and shit talking about what happened and how they was calling for help and wasn't nobody coming. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. None of this shit really happened. It was crazy, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, I had never seen no shit like that before in my life. And just to, participate in the discussions later on, because it's like, you know, we're looking at it like, okay, if it was us, this shit would have went totally different.
Child, please. Them motherfuckers wouldn't have made it to the street that the
To the
park was on.
block,
They
okay?
wouldn't have made it to the street that the park was on across from the Capitol. They they wouldn't have made it to that motherfucker. Like they had fences and shit put up. They just kicked that shit over and went on head on about their motherfucking business like it was nothing. I had never seen no nutty shit like this before. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then like when all of the fucking footage started rolling in, like most of that shit started rolling in this week. And you see motherfuckers in there with zip ties, like motherfuckers got like handfuls, like two handfuls of fucking zip ties. People walking in there in armor. They parting the seat to let motherfuckers dressed in military attire come up to the fucking stairs so that they can try to bum rush and shit. People is spraying fucking tear gas, pepper spraying shit and fucking clouds and shit in this little ass space, man. Like they was in like reckless, and ain't nobody got charged with treason. Ain't nobody got charged with insurrection. None of that shit. Like they
No,
basically
no.
they getting charged with shit like destruction of public property and um unlawful entry, shit like that. Like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Like
like petty shit. Like they got charged with petty shit. And it just kind of makes you upset just to know the difference, that there was such a big difference, or would have been a big difference in race, if that crowd had been of a different color.
it's not even a debate to me. Like it's just a unproven fact because we didn't do that shit. And we don't do shit like that because we know what the fuck is gonna happen. Like these
Hmm.
motherfuckers had no fear about what happened, and then this
Oh,
dude,
they went up there with confidence. Like you said, they went up there with confidence. It's like they knew ain't shit gonna happen to us.
and they was saying the shit out loud, live on Twitter, live on Instagram, live on Facebook, saying we finna storm the Capitol. Like it wasn't even like, yeah, we gonna knock on the doors and we gonna make sure that our voices are. It wasn't none of that shit. Motherfuckers ran straight up the stairs and tried to get in the door. Like it it was crazy. And then the president
Hmm.
is like he tweeting. That's what happens, man. When you cheat people and you lie to people, this is what happens. This is what you get. He's saying all of that shit from the comfort of the fucking Oval Office and shit. Motherfuckers like, nah, man, you need to get up here and tell these motherfuckers to go home. You're like, okay, you get up there. This motherfucker, man, this is the most rigorous shit I ever seen in my life. Sam got up there and said, man, we love y'all, man. But, y'all can't be out here breaking shit. We need y'all to go home, man. We love y'all. Y'all some patriots, though. Like, y'all the shit to me, man. But y'all got to go home now. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Y'all got to go home now. This ain't the right way. Like, fam, you done already told these motherfuckers for the last
The damage is already done.
2.5 motherfucking years, man. If they don't go in there and bum rush the show, they ain't gonna get what the fuck they want. So you got all of these motherfuckers in there geared up. They showed up ready to go. And this motherfucker like, hey man, I ain't had nothing to do with that. Like I ain't had shit to do with that. Man, this motherfucker man was nowhere near none of the shit he said he was gonna take part in. Like and you got motherfuckers like, cause I was listening, like I said, man, I was listening to everybody. So like I'm on YouTube and I'm watching motherfuckers shows and shit. And like this dude Ben Shapiro, he talking about like, well, with the BLM, if they was up there, it was okay to protest and all of this was okay, but now it's a problem. Now it's this, that, and the third. I'm like, fam, nobody rushed the Capitol. Like
No.
nobody threatened to take over the US Capitol. Nobody ran up and said that they was about to destroy a monument. Like none of that shit happened. If anything, as soon as y'all showed up, shit got bad. Like as soon as the police get there and they start pushing motherfuckers, that's when shit get bad. It don't be bad until that shit happen when it be general protest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When that shit happened with George Floyd and they burnt that fucking police station down, that was a riot. Like I get that. That was a riot. That was some motherfuckers mad. That shit wasn't planned. They didn't tell y'all they was about to protest. Motherfuckers just hit the street, start fucking shit up. That's a riot. I'm not condoning none
Hmm.
of that shit. What I'm saying is if it's just a protest,
A peaceful
a
protest.
peaceful protest, they do not go bad until the police show up. And that's every fucking time.
Hmm.
When black people are concerned, it don't go bad until fucking police show up.
Yeah. Yeah, because at that point, there's force being used when the police show up because they're not just showing up, but there's force being used. So this shit that happened at the Capitol, this clearly shows you that you know how to deal with people and not use force.
Like very well. Like very
Like
well.
evidently,
Like they
like you know how to not use force.
like they literally dragged a cop out. They dragged him out the building and beat him to death and nobody got shot. Like no, there wasn't nobody. They wasn't fanning that motherfucker or nothing. Like nothing happened. They got all the way up in the fucked some shit up, stole some shit, and then calmly walked out. Like man, get the fuck out of here. Like it was. I man, I was speechless watching that shit. And then everything leading up till today. This motherfucker go down to Mexico. Well, not Mexico. He go down to the southern border in Texas. And he like, yeah, we got the wall built. It's almost complete. Damn, this border is fucking over 3,000 miles long, man. Y'all just did y'all just did something that was like 300 miles, if that.
Hmm.
How the fuck is this shit completed, man? Why is this your focus? Like it was, and then he was like, man, I didn't tell them to do it. I don't condone that violence. I don't want nobody to do that shit.
Bullshit.
All this other shit. But now he kicked off of every fucking thing. Like they kicked his ass off Twitter. He
Yeah.
this
Twitter
motherfucker
and
do
yeah,
some OD, he do some
Facebook
OD.
too, right?
Man,
Wasn't
he
he? He was
he
kicked off of all
he
platforms.
was kicked off all platforms. But when they first kicked him off of Twitter, oh my god, it's just some nigga shit. This motherfucker. He was on there under his own name, like it was his own account. That's the one that he was always tweeting from. This motherfucker said fuck that and used the POTUS account, the official US government account, then start tweeting some more shit. They snatched that shit down. Man, I was in this motherfucker cracking
Oh
up.
my gosh.
I was in this
That-
motherfucker cracking up.
It's like he won't stop. Like he just don't know when to fucking stop. He don't know when to shut the fuck up. Don't know when to sit the fuck down. He
Oh my god.
just damn like but he make himself look so bad every time. Every time.
I was laughing my ass off at that shit. I'm like, I know this motherfucker didn't just go get a ghost account, start tweeting again.
Yeah.
He got a second account to go start tweeting some more shit. Get the fuck out of here. So like they what they ended up doing, like just to what I'm saying, just to bring it forward to today, as far as what it is that they've done to him. They removed him from all social media platforms. So
Hmm.
he's not on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. He can't use like motherfucker said he was gonna start a MySpace page, and MySpace is that's not an option. So he's not on social media. The only way he can get messaging out is to like send a broadcast from the Oval Office. So he had that happen. Then on top of all of that shit, New York canceled all contracts they had with his company because he got accused of a crime, like of committing a
Mm-hmm.
crime, and that was grounds for immediate termination of the contract. So they did that shit. Then you got Deutsche Bank that had been loaning him money for decades in order to keep his businesses afloat. They cut ties with him, told his ass,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, we're not doing business with you. You owe us this money. Um, just pay us our money, and we'll be good." Had that shit happen, and then his bank accounts with Signature Bank got fucking closed. They closed his fucking bank accounts. I don't know what the fuck they did with his money, if he had money in there or not, but they closed his fucking accounts.
Maybe it's frozen.
Like, damn, like, okay, so you had all of this shit happening. You got all of this shit happening, and then they have a vote today to find out. I mean, they have a vote in the House to determine if they gonna proceed with the impeachment, if they're gonna
Impeachment.
actually impeach.
Mm-hmm.
Now they had to go through three motherfucking votes to decide to actually impeach him. They had three separate votes. In between these separate votes, you got motherfuckers arguing points and shit. It's motherfuckers still arguing for this motherfucker. Everybody on the planet is saying, fuck this dude, he crazy. And you still got motherfuckers in here standing up for him. That shit crazy. That shit was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, where I live, it's like right across the street from a mall. And it's like I still be seeing Trump supporters standing out there with their fucking flags and their signs and shit. And we like, really, just go the fuck home. Like, seriously, like but they go so hard for Trump, just like they went hard at that Capitol. Like, that's how I look at them now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all just gonna continue to go hard for for this orange ass dude.
I just, man, I couldn't understand it. So because he's blocked from everything, the only way that he can get a message out was to send out a broadcast. So he sent out a broadcast today, and he was saying that anybody that was with him shouldn't have been storming the Capitol, and all they was doing was hurting things. They wasn't helping, and he don't condone the violence and all of this other shit. But this is after the impeachment vote. Now the impeachment vote was so they was like trying to hurry up and do this shit because I know a lot of motherfuckers was like, why the fuck would they do this shit now if he gonna leave office in a couple of days? Any
Yeah,
motherfucker.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
But the whole thing with the impeachment is that if they go ahead and impeach him and Congress, I mean, yeah, Congress had a trial, the Senate had a trial and shit. They find him guilty and they go ahead and get him out of office. What that does is it bars him from ever holding public office again. So
Mm-hmm.
he can't do that. He also loses his presidential pension. So he don't get paid that 270 some odd $1,000 a year for the rest of his life. He also don't get the Secret Service detail. He don't get none of that
Mm-hmm.
shit. He don't get the $1 million he's allotted every year for travel. Like he loses all of that shit. And it's so important that they take that shit away from him because he'll fuck around and run again in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be going through this shit all over again. So like I really do hope that they go ahead and do it just so that they can remove that shit from him to keep him from being able to do this shit again. But to
Yeah.
but to hear these motherfuckers talking about this shit like it ain't nothing and oh it wasn't that bad. This ain't the way to do it and he's learned his like all of these dumbass fucking arguments and shit. Like they should throw all of them motherfuckers out. Everybody that stood, everybody that stood next to him and was co-signing that bullshit, knowing it, that he was lying, just because y'all didn't want a person from the Democratic Party to be president, so y'all stood behind all these motherfucking lies. Like all of y'all should go. Like they should. These motherfuckers walked up to the Capitol with fucking gallows and a fucking noose to hang the fucking vice president because he wouldn't just overturn some shit. Like this shit nutty. This shit nutty.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
ain't no large amount of people who get fucking murdered. Like, man, fucking nuts. The best thing to come out of this shit was that no fly, that no fly list shit.
That shit was
Oh
fucking
my
hilarious.
god.
That shit was fucking hilarious.
Oh
And
my
just
god.
sitting there watching the videos, and you can see like these people clearly having like hissy fits and temper tantrums, just like Trump. Like when I saw them at the airport, like and seeing them in the midst of these temper tantrums, I was like, yeah, them Trump people, because they acting just like him. They cutting up and acting just like him.
I'm talking about big mad. Like they had a dude on the ground. He like, man, you treated me like a black person. What?
What? Like
Man,
really?
like that was the first one I saw. Then you had another lady. She talking about she had 3 kids. She on the floor. She like, man, I got 3 kids. I'm like, okay, how many you got? She, huh?
If you hung, you can hear.
Man, like you had this one dude. He was in there crying, like literally crying, talking about they just put me on this fucking no fly list, and they elected Biden president. They're taking everything from me, all because I went into the Capitol. Like this is wrong. They're trying to ruin my life. Like he was crying, saying this shit. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
because they, in their mind, there was gonna be like no kind of consequence behind it, and nothing was supposed to happen to them. So that came as a shock to them, and then now you want to have a hissy fit and boo-hoo and cry about it. Oh, so the fuck what? Like you alive? Because if it had been me, I probably wouldn't be alive if my ass had a storm the Capitol.
I keep
So
telling you, man, you wouldn't have made it to the street that the park is on across the street from the Capitol. You wouldn't have made it that far. Like, man, they'd have shot our ass from the roof. They'd have had motherfuckers up there picking our asses off in the line like it was Call of Duty. Like I'm not bullshit, man. That shit wouldn't happen with us.
not at all.
So the other big thing though that is actually just worth spending just a couple of minutes on. I don't really want to dwell on this shit too long, so I get long winded, and I'm sorry about that. But they when he started getting removed from these social media platforms, these social media platforms and also these internet platforms started going through the doing audits of the companies that they do business with, and they started removing people from their thing, which ain't no which isn't something new. When uh, I don't know if you know about this game Fortnite. All of the kids be playing and shit.
Yeah.
It's this free game or whatever. Fortnite changed the way that you pay for shit so that you could pay it directly through the game instead of through the store, like through the Apple store. So Apple removed the fucking game from them. But hey, don't do that. Like you trying to cut us out. You're not gonna cut us out and then still be here. So you need to fix
Mm-hmm.
that shit and then you come back. They fixed the shit and came back. So this this messaging app called Parlor had a problem with the way that they could monitor and moderate what was said on their platform. And they was
Mm-hmm.
letting all types of shit just go. Like motherfuckers are saying, hey, we should just go blow that motherfucker up. All of that type of shit. People was having these type of discussions on there about
Mm.
planning like acts of violence and shit. And they refused to install any kind of app or any kind of algorithm that will monitor that information and remove it. So
Mm-hmm.
Amazon removed their ass. Amazon, Apple, and Google, they removed their ass from the store, and Amazon removed their whole fucking app from their internet servers.
Oh wow.
Shut the whole shit down. So what they told them was like, hey, listen, what initially what they did was they suspended it and they
Mm-hmm.
said you got 24 hours to fix this problem, like the problem that you have with being able to regulate the speech that's on your platform. They're not trying to keep you from saying shit, but you can't keep letting motherfuckers throw out threats and plan these
Mm-hmm.
violent acts and shit and not do nothing about it. You have to take that shit down. You can't do that shit while you're using our service. So you need to fix this shit. So it gave them 24 hours, and then like with an hour left to go, they was like, "Hey, listen, man, if y'all ain't got this shit up, man, we gonna remove y'all ass." They ain't had that shit up, man. They snatched that shit off the fucking airway. so, so these man, I'm telling you, man. So these motherfuckers is mad, like, man, y'all y'all fucking with our freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? Well, y'all fucking with our freedom of speech. We should be able to say whatever the fuck it is that we want to say. And I think a lot of people are confused about what actually the First Amendment is. Like you and
Mm-hmm.
I, like even on this podcast, we can say whatever the fuck it is that we want to say. Like there's nothing that's gonna stop us from talking however the fuck it is that we want to talk, expressing any opinion that we may have or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Now the problem becomes who the fuck we broadcasting this podcast on,
The platform that's being used.
the platform that we use. So if we not on pirate radio, so if we using somebody's internet servers or anything like that, these motherfuckers have a certain amount of speech that they condone and that they don't condone. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're not gonna condone with that shit, then you just not gonna use our shit. Find the best way possible for you, fam. We all accept that when we sign up to use this shit. It's in the terms and conditions of every fucking thing. Like they tell you
Absolutely.
all of that shit. So it's not infringing on your free speech, but you're not free from the consequences of what the fuck it is that you say. Like like we was always taught. We was always taught, man. Watch what the fuck it is that you say to people, and who the fuck it is that you say it to. Watch. Just don't be walking around here talking all crazy to motherfuckers. You don't know that motherfucker. Like you don't
Right.
know him. You don't know that bitch. Like it's like whatever the fuck it is. Like however the fuck it was told to you is real. Like so we don't generally just be walking around saying shit. But the First Amendment says that Congress will not make allowed to infringe on your right to speak. Congress ain't got shit to do with Facebook. Congress
Right.
ain't got shit to do with Twitter. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you decide that you want to use one of them platforms, you agree to their terms and conditions. So if in their terms and conditions say you can't say shit like this and you say shit like this, they had a right to shut your ass down because you broke the rules. You know what I'm saying? It
Right.
would be no different than sitting in the public area and you start talking some shit. A manager come over to you like, hey, you're gonna have to stop talking like that around here. Like this is they love to say shit like that, man. This is a family environment. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? You can't talk like that
Yeah.
in this family environment. If you keep doing the shit, hey man, we're gonna have to ask you to leave.
You're
It's
gonna
the
have to
same
leave.
shit. It's the same
Yeah,
shit.
no, I mean, people think, I think that just comes with people just don't read. Like, you establish these accounts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. There's always fine print that you skip over. And it's shit in there that tells you what you can't do, what you can and can't do. Just like if you post an inappropriate picture, your ass is, they may give you a warning, they may put you in Facebook jail or whatever for the time, but you just can't post anything that you want to post and say, oh, it's, my First Amendment right. No, it's not. Like, you're on a platform that doesn't allow for this kind of shit that you're posting. Now, if you want to go stand on your near street corner and say whatever it is that you want to say, you can do that, and nobody can stop you from doing that. But on these platforms, you can't do that shit there.
You can't.
Sorry.
It's they property, man. It's they property. Just like them motherfuckers every year. It happened every year, once a year, twice a year. I think it happened twice a year. Everybody start copying and pasting this long ass fucking statement about Facebook's terms and conditions and how I don't agree to letting Facebook use my picture or my likeness and all of this other shit. It be this motherfucking long and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just copy and paste and put on their fucking page like that shit means something. Like fam, as long as you using Facebook, they can do whatever the fuck they want to with this shit. like you agree to that every fucking time that you download this app and you use it. Every time they update their terms and conditions and you try to skip past that shit, they don't let you skip past it and you can't use Facebook until you agree to that shit. Every fucking time you do that shit, you agree to the terms and conditions, man. Like it's just that fucking simple.
Real simple.
I don't
Very
under,
simple.
I don't get the concept of thinking that you could just do whatever the fuck it is that you want to do.
Yeah, no, anytime you're, going into someone else's establishment, place of business, internet website, you have to abide by those rules. Just like if I say, hey, I don't want you to wear shoes in my house and you come in my house wearing fucking shoes, I got the right to kick you the fuck out because you in my shit. So it's the same concept. It's the same thing. Like real simple, simple
Real
shit.
simple shit, man. Real simple shit. What else you got going on?
Well, since I've been back, I've just been trying to catch up on the news and shit that's been going on. So the latest and greatest is this whole thing surrounded about Lori Harvey and her uh, hit list or whatever you want to call it,
Hit
her body list, her body count.
No, you gonna have to you gonna have to explain this shit to me because I don't get it.
Well, to be honest with you, I really didn't get it either. But I think that for me, it's like, okay, so now her latest relationship is with Michael B. Jordan. And she's been with Puffy, Future, just a long list of celebrities or, people that's in the industry. But my thing with that is what other celebrity hasn't? You get what I'm saying? Like if you just pick any random celebrity, Gabrielle Union, whoever, like just whoever you want to pick. Like they just fuck with people in that circle or in that industry. And it's like you can probably for each celebrity, you can probably name about a good 5 or 6 people in the industry that they done fuck with. Like that's just how the shit goes. So why are we, throwing a stone at Lori because of her body count when clearly like everybody else is doing the same shit.
Okay, so this is this Steve Harvey's either daughter or stepdaughter.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what it was that I gathered from it was that people was calling her a hoe, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, that shit sound dumb as hell to me. Like this is the thing that really bothers me is that we want to hold our women. Our When I say our women, I mean black women. We want to hold our women to uh an accord of them being equal. One, two. Um, we don't want to hold them to antiquated traditions and stigmas and all of these other things. And
Mm-hmm.
we want society as a whole to treat them as the powerful beings that we see them as in our culture. But at the same time, when they do something adverse to what was traditionally done, we condemn them. I don't understand that shit. When Steve Harvey wrote that book, uh, act like a lady and think like a man, act like a lady, think like a man, however the fuck it was that shit is worded.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck y'all think he was writing that book for?
Right. He was writing
Like
it for women.
he was writing that shit for his daughter. Like to be honest, he monetized some in like I don't know, but this just kind of makes sense to me. He monetized something that he was doing already. So he was already telling his kids this shit. He was already telling his daughters that shit. So he just put the shit in the book. So if she grew up listening to this shit, she grew up hearing this firsthand. How the fuck does y'all think she was gonna act? Like she's
Mm-hmm.
doing what it is that she was taught how to do, which ain't a bad thing at all, especially if you got these grown motherfuckers, these 35 to 40-year-old motherfuckers that's getting mad about her and calling her a hoe and shit, got this book on their shelf.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that. I don't understand. It sounds like some hating ass shit. Like you just mad that she young and she with all of these dudes that you be dreaming about. Like that's just
She's
kind of
doing young
like
people shit. Like she's what, 26 or something like that?
yeah.
Like she's doing young people shit. And it's like at that age, that's is that not what all of us was doing? Like,
Yeah.
did you not have to like date a bunch of people until you found the motherfucker that you wanted to be in a relationship with? Like,
I
what
don't.
I mean, honestly, like what were you doing at, from age 20 to 30? You
I,
know. 20 to 30 was sketchy for a lot of us.
I, you would think that when you looking at, I mean, if you looking at people Facebook and their profiles and their Instagram pictures and shit, how you got everybody sharing this meme about um, you crying at 20 over somebody when I was 20. Shit, shit. So you can share that meme. You can share that meme, and then at the same the next week, look at this hussy. Look at this hussy. Oh, she just fast. She just gonna fuck everybody in the industry. What are you talking about? Like, what difference does it make? And then the dudes. Oh my god, the dudes are even worse. Like,
Oh my gosh.
you talking about a girl that you have no chance of shooting a shot at. Like, no
None.
chance. That y'all
Zero.
not in the same league. Don't shoot at the same baskets. Like, y'all, you have no chance to shoot a shot at this girl. And it's not a knock on you. It's just you. Why are you worried about what some broad that ain't in your circle is doing? Like, your daughter ain't your kids ain't old enough to see what it is that she doing. Like, if your daughter ain't old enough to see what it is that she doing, or you are too inept to teach her what it is that she doing, you still shouldn't be bothered behind it, man. Like, let these motherfuckers do whatever the fuck they want to do. The whole problem, the whole reason that Trump became president is this fucking celebrity worship. Like, we just got to get out of the mode of just treating these motherfuckers as if they fucking matter, or if they more important. Not that they don't matter, but that they more important than anybody else. Like, they have a talent,
Yeah.
they get paid for their talent, but that doesn't make them the fucking guru of life choices and decisions and shit. Like, I just don't understand that shit.
Yeah. And I think that, it in light of, celebrity gossip and who's fucking with who's in a relationship with who. It's celebrity gossip, but I don't understand why people let it get like so deep under their skin. Like, why does this bother your day? Like, why does this have you upset? Because this is not no new shit under the fucking sun. Like, this is shit that's been happening. This is shit that celebrities been doing. This is the same shit that the average motherfucker's been doing. Like, so it's like, I be looking at people like having these whole debates and going back and forth and getting upset about it. Like, why? Like, why is it, whoever she's fucking got you upset about this? Why does her body count got you upset? Did she fuck your man? Like,
Yo, play baby daddy. Yo, like that's what that shit be, man. That bitch fucking my play baby daddy. What? You gotta put what?
child bye.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you.
I know. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that was the latest and greatest. Then I did send you that information. They finally rescheduled the versus battle with Keisha Cole and Ashanti.
Yeah, and they
So
put it was a final date. Like, they not gonna reschedule it again.
yeah, yeah, because it was supposed to originally be, well, it was originally rescheduled for January 9th, and then they rescheduled it for the 21st, I believe it was. It's the new date. So, I guess they just didn't want to let it keep going on and rescheduling dates. So this is it. So I guess if it don't happen this date, it's not happening at all.
I don't even. A part of me kind of believes that don't nobody give a fuck no more. Like,
Yeah.
not to say like it's not a great idea and everything like that, but ain't nobody staying in the house like that no more. And then, like, they started doing the shit on weekends. Like, it was cool when it was like on a Tuesday or a Thursday, and
Yeah.
it was at like 7, 8 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? That, oh,
Hmm.
everybody home. I ain't got shit else to do. Like, pick the fucking phone up and watch the fucking versus battle. But people started going outside like around October and been
Hmm.
outside, like, just going. You know what I'm saying? And they still get the viewership and shit, but I don't think it's to the point where it was before. And with the many, I think the hype around it has just died down because the
Yeah.
names aren't as big anymore. Like, I'm not taking anything away from Keisha Cole and Ashani. I'm not saying that they aren't iconic people. what I'm saying is that they too recent for the young adults, and they too far gone for the old adults. Like
Hmm.
they not they not old enough to be missed. Like they ain't been gone long enough to be missed, and they not they ain't been yeah. That's just basically it. They ain't been gone long enough to be missed with somebody checking for them. Like oh man, I'm Mrs. Shiny. Like man, I wonder what she thought. Nobody ever fuck. Like and then Keisha Cole had a TV show, so we see her like oh shit. Well, whatever. Motherfuckers
Yeah,
didn't see RZA and Premier. Um they didn't see Nelly and Ludacris. Like they didn't see Rick Ross and Two Chains. They weren't just like he was like, oh man, I want yeah, like that shit sound cool. And then when you had Tip deny that battle with Buster, like I was like, man, fuck this shit. Cause
yeah,
if 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 Buster is too old for Ti, then Ti who is Ti too old for? Who is Ti young enough for? Like it's I man
yeah. It makes no sense, but I mean, to be honest with you, like even when they first announced the battle with Ashanti and Keisha, I wasn't about to stop what I was doing for that shit then. And I'm not about to stop what I was doing for that shit whenever it comes on. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, I wasn't ever like a huge fan of either one. I think, let's see, I think out of all of the battles, I think the one that got me the most hype was, with Gucci and Jeezy. Like, but I think that I was more so hype about the idea of seeing some shit with Buster. Like I was
yeah.
all in for that shit.
Yeah.
So,
And
if they
especially since he had an album coming out like right around that time.
yeah,
T.I. had an
exactly.
album coming out right around that time. Like that shit just would
Mhm.
have worked. But my favorite one still is that Snoop and DMX joint. Like either the Snoop and DMX or that Jada Kiss and Fabulous. Cause the fucking dances and the fucking memes that came from that shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna forget that no time soon. Like that's something memorable. So but
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't ever want to see nobody fail. So I hope like it stays on the traction that it stays on, regardless of if it's for me or not. But I I don't know. Like I wasn't familiar with their catalogs enough to be tuning into that shit anyway. And
Mhm.
I haven't like got reversed on any of that shit either. So
Hey, it is what it is. You like who you like, and I mean, it's all about the music that you were into or what artist that you was into, because I'm not about to tune into some shit and I wasn't really into your music. So it's like you tune into what you was into, and it's like I just wasn't into that shit. So I mean, as far as the other ones, I definitely like Snoop and DMX. Like
yeah, that was the shit. That was the shit. Like seeing them just fawn all over each other and tell each other they love them and shit. And you got ex like uh playing the hardest shit ever. Like, man, I love you so much. Hey, yo, bitch.
yeah, yeah,
That shit was
that
good
was
though.
definitely my one of my favorites, and then definitely Jill Scott and Erica. That was one of
Oh
my
man, I
favorites too.
almost
Like
forgot
that
about that
was,
one. Like that
you
shit was
can't forget
epic.
about that one.
That shit was epic. I think I don't know if that was the first one I watched all the way through.
Hmm.
Like, I didn't skip that shit. I didn't.
And I dropped what I was doing for that one because
Yeah,
I almost forgot, because I think you had texted me, was like, "Are you watching?" I was like, "Oh shit!" I was actually out that night, and I was like, "Hold on, stop. We gotta tune into this shit." You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I stopped what I was doing for that one. But it's, like you said, I think it's just really fizzling out. Like I remember before they was doing them on like Friday nights and shit like that, because like you said, people was in the house. There was nowhere to go. It was nothing to do. But now
when
people
they
are
first started
starting.
doing that shit, they was doing that shit on Tuesdays. Like
Hmm.
man, they was having dates on Tuesdays, Thursdays, fucking Mondays. Like it was all hours of the you know what I'm saying. It was during the week. It wasn't on the weekend because you was trying to get somebody something to do to occupy their time during the week, so they didn't.
Well, I think too it was like the ones, well, not necessarily the versus battles, but like when they was doing club quarantine with DJ, um what's his
Oh,
name?
D Nice.
Yeah. He was doing his on like Friday nights and Saturday nights because he was just trying to make you feel like you was at the club or some shit. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
still
Because
doing his
that's what
shit
you would
though.
be doing on the weekends.
He's still doing his shit though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He still get a lot of followers too. Like people still tune. I still tune into it every now and then. But he's still going. He's still going.
Okay. Okay. I haven't listened to one of his in
That's
a
because
in
you've
a
been shaking
while.
your ass outside.
I've been
That's why.
outside.
Yeah, you've been outside. That's why. That's why.
Okay.
Getting flued out and shit.
Trying to get flued out.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. All right. So what else you got for me this week?
I think that's about it, man. I those all those talk those things have just kind of been dominating everything it is that we've been going through in the country for like the last couple of weeks, the first few weeks of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty much all I had, man. You want to jump into the 11th law?
Absolutely.
So this week we're doing law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you.
Yes.
So the judgment is to maintain your independence, you must always be needed and wanted. The more you are relied on, the more freedom you have. Make people depend on you for their happiness and prosperity, and you have nothing to fear. Never teach them
Mm-hmm.
enough so that they can do without you. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard right there.
Yeah, it is. It is. Um, yeah. Okay, so with this one, if you notice, I relate a lot of mines to corporate world and shit like that. Um, because I'm just thinking that, like in the job world, you trying to hold down a position or maintain a position somewhere. Like you always want to be, or always need to put yourself in a position where you are needed, because once it's figured that you are no longer needed or no longer profitable, then you're out the door. You're out the door. And then, when relating this to power, because that's what we're talking about, you have to always put yourself in a position, like it says, where you are needed, where people need you, because when people no longer need you, you're no longer of value.
Right.
So that's where I'm coming from with it.
Oh, I most definitely agree, and it's a lot of it is in bit. I mean, with business, because that's what this book is designed. I mean, you're not overthrowing countries no more and shit. So your power plays aren't for positions of power in in those areas. It would be in business, but and also in life.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the the idea of keeping people dependent on you and always being. I equate it to just always make sure that you're missed, because like I like the fact that there are things that I know how to do that I know that nobody else knows how to do, and they
Mm-hmm.
they depend on my knowledge of doing that in order to do it. Because the motherfucker, yeah, anybody can cook, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, not
chef
anybody.
anyway. So chefs got recipes and shit, and they can give you that recipe, but that don't mean that you can do it the way that they do it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a certain power that you have and knowledge. Like you have like you pay for everything it is that you don't know. So when you do know more than the next person, they beholden to you. It would be stupid for me to relinquish that that amount of power for them to be able to do it themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
why no, I don't want to teach you how to do the shit. when I could just wait for you to call me and I can come do it, get some coin off of you, get
Mhm.
whatever the fuck it is that I need from you in order to be able to advance what the fuck it is my agenda is. So just teaching somebody too much or telling them too much about what it is that you know always comes back to bite you in the ass. It always
Mhm.
does. Like if you share like your plans as far as um what ideas it is that you expounded on for the next quarter, or how it is that you plan to go about completing the task, and you share that with somebody that's in the same field as you. They could take that same idea and use it in their area, and then they
Mhm.
end up reaching whatever goal it was that you had set before you, because they
Mhm.
know how to prevent you from doing something. You know what I'm saying? If
Mhm.
you know how to do something, you also instantaneously learn how to keep somebody else from doing it. So
Absolutely. Like, yeah, I mean, even that, what you just said, it relates back to a previous law that we went over. So it's like, all of it starts coming together, and you can, pretty much relate all of this shit to your day to day and how you do your day to day business, and, you know, your business plan and just everything. So, I mean, with this, it's like this shit, you're looking to make these plays on basically, I hate to say it, but the weak. You know what I'm saying? The weak minded. You know what I'm saying? Because those are the people that can be led a little bit easier. So you have to keep that in mind as well. But uh, yeah, this is a real good one, and I need to catch back up on my reading. Like I've been out here, just it's been so much going on with the move and birthdays and traveling and shit like that. I got to catch back up on my reading.
yeah, I do too. I've been reading, and going over so many different things.
Yeah,
It's kind of overwhelming. So uh,
yeah.
just trying to streamline this shit is needed, and I'm glad that we got back to recording, because it helps.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Just to get that information off, and then move along with it is is real important. But that I want to share one of these keys to power. The ultimate power is the power to get people to do as you wish. When you can do this without having to force people or hurt them, when they willingly grant you what you desire, then your power is untouchable.
I
Like
have that highlighted.
I don't
Yeah.
think I don't think that people understand how important it is to master that part of your life. Like regardless of if it's in business or if it's in your personal life, being
Mhm.
being able to get people to do what it is that you want them to do, and what you want them to do or what you need them to do is essential, because there's always something that you can't do yourself. Like regardless of how smart you are, regardless of how strong you are, there's always something that you are not able to do yourself. And being able to keep the ability to have people working for you
Mhm.
and them wanting to do the shit. Like people genuinely want to complete tasks for you, genuinely want to
Mhm.
see you at the top. See, like, man, I helped that motherfucker do that. Like those type of people, keeping that feeling inside of them, that's real important.
Mhm.
And it's so hard to master, because I know I struggle with that. I struggle with that
Mhm.
because I always feel as if I could do whatever the fuck it is that I want to do. Anything that I want to have happen, I can make happen. And I forget that no, I don't know everything. I'm not the smartest one in the room. I'm not, you know what I'm saying. I don't hold all of the keys and shit. So to give people that feeling that is you want to be great to work with and also great to work for,
Mhm. Mhm.
like in all areas, like whether it's the person that you with, like your partner, or somebody that you work with, like getting that motherfucker to do whatever the fuck it is that you want to do when you need them to do it, and then having them feel good about it all the motherfucking
Mhm.
time. Like yeah, like that, it's a reason why they say you need to kiss that sugar daddy on his forehead every now and then. It's a reason they say that shit. You keep that motherfucker feeling good and do whatever the fuck it is that you want for him.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the keys that really touched home for me that I highlighted was do not be one of the many who mistakenly believe that the ultimate form of power is independence. Power involves a relationship between people. So you will always need other people as either allies, pawns, or either as a weak master who serve as your front. So
Mhm.
so it's like when I read that, I'm like, okay, like how they say, we playing chess here. We're not playing checkers.
Right.
So it's like you have to have these people set up around you and use these people accordingly so you can get what the fuck you want. So you can master that power. So, it really makes you like change your train of thought with it because I thought a different way about it too because I thought just what it says that it was maybe your independence that gave you that power and actually it's not because you're not going to get to wherever you're trying to get to as far as your goals and what is that you're trying to accomplish without the people around you to help make that shit happen to make those power plays that you need to make.
No, and
So I
I think
get it.
that's even one of the powers. Isolation is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
like man, isolation is dangerous. So
Absolutely. So yeah, this one was a good one. So next week is 12.
yeah, that's week
So
12.
yeah, so I gotta catch back up. I gotta catch back up so I'm ready for next week. But yeah, that one was awesome. So I definitely learned a few good pointers from that one. I know that for this year, like I never really do resolutions. Like resolutions aren't really my thing, but I need to do my vision board for this year for 2021. So I usually do it, sometime between either December or January. So I need to sit down and put together my vision board for the year and and get ready to knock that shit out.
I've never done that before. So
Really?
yeah, I've never done it before, but I want to as well. So maybe whether it's whether it's through here or not, we can figure out a way to get it, you know what I'm saying, to get it done at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really simple, and I actually hosted a few vision board parties over the last few years.
Yeah, I remember you telling
So
me about the one you had last year. And I was like, man, what y'all playing paper mache? Because I had never, you know what I'm saying, I had never seen it before. I'm like, why y'all having a cut and paste party? What the fuck is you doing?
no, it's deeper than that. But yeah, I'm with it. So I actually have some magazines because that's always my thing. Like I never really buy and collect, magazines and newspapers and stuff like that. So but I have some now. So I just need to get a board and you can get that from, Walgreens or anywhere where they sell office supplies. Get a board and get some scissors and some glue or tape and you in there.
Oh, all right, man. 'Cause I got 2 years of fucking GQ and Men's Health magazines, and so I'm good on the material. So
Okay.
you know what I'm saying, just doing it and getting it up and seeing. So I don't know how to do it. That's the key.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. So then maybe the next episode we can give out some pointers on how to do a vision board. This is
Yeah,
really easy.
that sounds cool.
Yes.
That sounds cool.
I'm with it.
All
All
right. Anything
right.
else for the people?
No, that's all I have. So, I just want to again thank everyone for tuning in, and I hope everyone has a very prosperous 2021 and do some good things with this year. So, thank you guys once again. Please rate, like, subscribe, tune in every week. We love you guys.
Thank y'all, man. Hey, listen, what I'll be doing throughout the week, I'm gonna try to stay, keep looking out because I'll be posting things throughout the week in order to get some of this stuff out to y'all because we wanna be able to thank y'all for following us. So we'll be having giveaways like this coming week or so. So just stay tuned and check us out on Facebook and Instagram, Low End Theories Podcast on both. And we'll be in touch. Till then, peace, y'all.
All right, peace and blessings.